Hey guys, sorry about that. Had a bit of a hiccup. The internet went out, so... And I'm running at the 30-minute mark, too. But hey, got as close as where we were last time, so... I'm gonna be going ahead to, redo this again, so... Go check out the stream. You want to catch up to the previous parts? Let's get back to it.
Well, stop. Did he just twirl out a frame?
It's now or never if you want this.
Yep, he did.
Talk about exiting with style. Even
flair.
I'd harm Sonic if it was pitched with that kind of flair.
Again, more
When
silence.
Silver catches up with Sonic, we get a cutscene we've now had the chance to enjoy a whopping 3 times.
You again. This time, it leads into a new perspective in the Silver Shadow Showdown.
Still. Bye.
This battle feels like a slight upgrade from the one we had with Sonic
about
a
that?
little while ago. Shadow aggressively locks onto you and does a homing jump attack. Sure, but he also has other moves that he rotates through. Not a crazy impressive encounter, but at least Shadow's attacks have some variety.
What does Silver get for winning the fight?
There you guys, another kick in the head.
Chaos control!
Yep. Bonk.
You see, Silver won this fight.
Oof.
Yes, I believe he did.
Still gets kicked.
Funny, it doesn't seem like it.
Man, why do they keep
Just
doing
as
this?
we saw before, Shadow and Silver coincidentally chaos
Yep,
control
same
themselves
stuff,
at nifty
same
time
platforms.
portal.
Opens portal,
Yep,
off
they
we
head
go.
back in time 10 years to Soliana's disastrous Solaris project.
We know how this all goes. They try to
Kaboom.
contain the energy, there's a meltdown, boom.
Iblis and Mephiles are born, Shadow's given the scepter, the Hogs chase after the bad guys.
But this time we see the action from Silver's perspective. He hunts down the glowing sphere of fire that is Iblis.
Hey! What are you doing? You've got to leave!
I have my duty. This living flame has been entrusted to the royal family.
The king brandishes yet another
Another
Chaos
Chaos
Emerald and uses the emerald's power to seal away Iblis within Princess Elise.
That's a good girl, Elise.
Is he even alive?
Be brave. Don't cry, no matter what happens.
Wait a sec, haven't we heard this
Huh.
before?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does sound familiar.
You're a good girl, Elise. Remember, be brave. Don't cry, no matter what happens.
Right, that was
Yeah,
back in Sonic's chapter. Speaking of which, that sounds similar to another sequence in Sonic's campaign, too, in that forest cinematic.
Don't cry, Elise. Become a strong queen who doesn't cry, no matter what happens.
Okay, I'm confused.
I
In
missed
those
something.
flashback sequences, was she recalling the moments after becoming a Ziploc bag for an enraged god?
Remember,
How does she remember
be
this?
brave. Don't cry, no matter what happens.
I mean, look at her. She's conked. She's not
Yeah,
consciously
out.
engaging with anyone. How much is sinking in?
Heck, let's say she was recalling this moment back in the forest. The scene looks nothing like this. The dialogue doesn't match. Did she invent this memory to go with the subconscious memory of what her dad told her?
It really
Maybe?
doesn't make
I don't
much
even know.
sense.
Could
We
be
can
a
only
previous
conclude that
memory.
the king knew this would happen one day and raised his daughter to fulfill her destiny as a living fragile glass jar to contain the flames of disaster.
I have my duty. This living flame has been entrusted to the royal family. Don't cry, no matter what happens. Otherwise, your tears will call forth the flames inside you.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, what
Yeah?
I'm gathering here is that this king guy's telling her that if she cuts an onion and sheds a single tear, she will destroy the world?
Yeah.
Yep,
much.
that seems to be what's going down. Sounds like a very brainless plan. No wonder
Yeah,
whatever this
seems
project
dumb.
was blew up in the king's face. Pretty
Literally.
dumb. I mean, not as dumb as
Well,
the two
dumb
time
dead.
travelers with the ability to go back mere moments before any of this and prevent this whole thing from happening altogether.
I'll change the past and save the world!
You pretty much put it on a time bomb. Ba-da, ba-da, da-da, da-da. Ba-da, bonk.
With the flames of disaster crammed
Womp
into
womp.
Elise and Mephiles sealed in the Scepter of Darkness, Silver and Shadow once again get ready to head back to their present time.
Chaos
Control!
Only now we linger with Silver.
Bye-bye.
He hands off the blue Chaos Emerald to Elise.
It's a lucky charm.
So, wait, that's gonna be the Chaos Emerald we see handed off to Sonic years later.
Yeah.
I've got it.
What we saw at the beginning of the game? She got that from Silver?
Right.
It's
Huh.
a lucky charm.
But Silver got it from the Egg Genesis, who got it from Eggman, who got it from Sonic, who got it from Elise, who got it from Silver, who got it from the Egg Genesis, who got it from Eggman, who got it from...
It's a loop.
Ah,
Sonic the
loop, yeah,
Hedgehog
pretty
is
much.
famous for using them.
Why is this happening?
Better not try reasoning with madness.
Sure.
A little late for that. Just... What? No one thought to check. No one thought to check the plot threads of this. Leave, eh?
Sure. Let's leave the
Bye-bye.
fancy thinking to Silver, who finally has a revelation.
Finally
The
back.
Iblis trigger wasn't Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey! What that little
He
potato?
decides to come to Sonic's aid and help rescue Princess Elise.
And we've all seen how that goes.
Yep.
Elise!
Right. Then Silver helps Sonic travel to the past by pulling out a Chaos Emerald, which I guess he looted from the corpse of the king? I mean, that's who was using
Oh, yeah, the white one,
Emerald
yeah.
Blast, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Classy.
Thank you, Silver.
Silver and Blaze hop the portal and head back to their timeline.
I know how to save our world now. We don't have to change the past. I'm sure of it.
Not sure
So
what Silver
they're gonna
has
use
in
this
store, but he
Chaos
seems pretty
Emerald to do it.
confident.
Maybe we need to wrap Silver's chapter to really unravel what's going on here.
Alright, yep. Last chapter.
Meantime, we have another confrontation with an angry fire deity we know well.
Here we go again.
Come on, Iblis! This time I'll finally stop you!
Oh,
Looks like
Hang on,
Iblis is
bipedal.
more powerful than ever. We need to fling boulders and do our best to avoid waves of speeding projectiles.
yikes.
Eventually, Iblis calls in one last mega boulder, which we
Incoming
promptly return
up.
to sender.
See ya. This ends here. Boom.
Yay, load
No
screen!
readings. Oh. Bye-bye. Again.
Yay,
Load screen again.
Chaos Emeralds, lend me your power. Eternal Sun, the living flame that has been entrusted to the royal family. Fall into slumber with my soul, Iblis. You cursed flames of disaster!
Ah, this was his plan all along. Not stop Iblis from being freed, but just trap it again.
Silver attempts to reenact the fancy ceremony the king performed to seal Iblis and Elise, but
No!
Too
I
strong.
wanted accept me as the vessel. Blaze!
I'll take Iblis. Don't worry. My soul is already alit with flames. I will be accepted.
Can't argue with that logic.
True.
please tell Silver to stop time and huck her newly inhabited body into another dimension.
Wow, Silver can do that?
Chaos control! Shane!
True.
Right, chaos control.
What? Wait.
My eyes!
But
Sorry.
no, Silver doesn't have the heart to do it. Not to his best friend.
I can't. I wouldn't know what to do without you.
And thus, Silver Legs
well,
Blaze.
She does it herself, I think.
Yep.
They
Up
don't
she
really
goes.
explain it, but she becomes all ethereal and starts hovering into the sky.
Hi,
Which
Blaze.
leaves us
See you in
wondering
Star
why
Crush.
she bothered asking Silver to do any of that dimensional hucking stuff in the first place.
So, does this take place before Sonic Rush? I mean, that's the only reason I could think of that whole line, but each wrong, I guess. Hey, stops the
Well,
lava.
That's that. Silver's
Thanks,
chapter
Blaze.
has come to a close.
Oh, wow, yeah, you're right. But why doesn't it feel like things are properly wrapped with the story yet?
You know the drill.
Come on!
Yep, one more to
This
go.
game is so much longer than it has any right to be.
Yeah, but
I mean,
look
if
at
you
that.
played
Last
Sonic Adventure,
episode.
you know how this
Has
goes.
got to be it.
Clear them out
Ending
for
we
one last
desperately
episode
need,
to wrap
but
it all
we
up.
desperately don't want to explore.
Too
Before we
bad.
get to what we both assume must be the end of this game, we need to talk about something very important that many a reviewer of this game has missed.
Yes, okay, we didn't really talk about the multiplayer mode, but we
Wait, that's the
did
thing?
play it. It's really similar to the single player experience, but twice as dreadful, because two people are being tortured instead of one. It's hardly something worth mentioning.
That's not all the gameplay we have remaining.
Remaining gameplay? What could we have possibly missed? We dang near played 100% of this train wreck.
Oh, well, yes, we have. We've played every side mission and anything else you could hope or want to do in Sonic 2006.
So, wait, you just said I'm confused.
We did play everything, at least with the PlayStation 3 version.
But the only other version is the Xbox 360 release. These games are
Wait,
near
this-
identical.
Well, yeah, but no, they're
What?
not.
The answer is yes and no.
Because you see,
Seriously?
in North America, the Xbox 360 version of this hallmark of terror got something the PlayStation 3 version did not get.
What?
Downloadable content.
Oh,
Oh,
DLC?
yeah, this came as a shock to me, too. Barely anyone
How?
talked about it at all.
It looks like there's a bunch. They seem ultra redundant. Harder difficulty
not-
modes? Who would want to make this crappy game extra hard?
Pass.
No!
And boss attack mode?
Attacking
You
bosses
serious?
we've already played with some modifications. Not something that really
You
stands
serious?
out.
So why do we care?
Well,
Yeah.
we should care because there is a DLC
Attack Amigo?
pack that is called Team Attack Amigo. It's an entire collection of levels we previously played on. Sometimes harder, sometimes more
Okay.
enemies. All of this played with Tails, Blaze the Cat, and E123 Omega, who may or may not have
Huh.
been playable on these stages previously.
Sounds like I might just have more fun eating an expired chili dog than playing this downloadable content.
This is
Yeah, I don't know if they... I'm surprised they're actually going this route. They're just including the DLC? Sheesh. Honestly, I don't think it's even that... That's a good idea at this rate. I think I would have been like, you know what? Never mind. We're just gonna go to the last episode. Sheesh, come on, dude. We're near the end. Let's wrap it up.
gaming history, my friend. This DLC is no longer available for purchase with the shuttering of the Xbox 360 online marketplace. What we're about to dive into, few have done, and the many that maybe knew about it, avoided at all costs.
This is so unbelievable.
Thank you,
I'd ask
Silver.
Tails here what he thinks of being used as the menu character for this section. But this fox don't got a mouth!
Looks like he's suffering from the dreaded mephilitis.
I'll trigger the world.
Starting up, we're met with no fanfare at all. No
Okay,
cutscenes
just
or
straight
story
in.
elements to introduce us to our task at hand.
Hey, that's a plus, right? No story
Maybe.
means they can't infect us with more bad story.
We begin as
late.
Tails, who appears to be levitating
Noting.
off the ground by sheer will. Tails' now
Mm-hmm.
infamous ring bomb attack in first person is a struggle to aim as always without any reticle in sight. You just
Ugly.
kind of have to look in a direction and hope your attack lands.
An attack, by the way, that you won't see if you leave first person mode, since the camera swings around, showing the back of where Tails is
Wait.
coming from.
Why the heck is the game doing that?
I have
No idea.
There is no logical reason why this would happen. It just does it. It makes about as much sense as fake rings you can't pick up. I don't even care that that was also a thing in Sonic Heroes. It was stupid there, and somehow they made it even worse
Yeah.
here. To add to the madness we're dealing with right now, I think this level is going in reverse. I remember we played this stage already as Sonic, grinding on rails downhill.
Yeah.
But now we're going uphill. I don't think it's going to take very long to find
Yeah.
something that is broken by going in the wrong direction on this stage, because these levels worked so well moving forwards.
Whoa!
Would you look at that? Tails' ring bomb attack seems to be constantly exploding on the ground. See, his ring bomb blows up when it touches anything at all. We're on an incline, not a flat surface. So it just hits the ground in front of him instead of the
Yeah.
enemy we actually want to hit.
What a wonderful problem to have. His attack needs to be squarely aimed at your enemy in first person with no crosshair while playing in a third person
That's what I
platformer
said.
game
Just
with a
get a
confused
crosshair and
camera.
it fixes it.
Such quality.
Look, there is no
just move
hiding
on.
this. No character was meant to play on this stage backwards. Especially Tails, with broken physics and jumping, it's painful.
And much like
game
the
is broken
regular game,
physics.
exploration is just as awful. If you try to look around for fun, you'll likely end up in a place that
Yep,
will
there we
trigger an instant death.
And we ought to know, we sure as heck died enough times just at this
See?
opening section.
No kidding. We just eked through this first level on our last life. Next,
finally.
it's that awesome train level.
Okay, we just have to make sure we don't screw. Come on, Tails.
Really?
Dang it. Looks like Tails bought the farm. No more lives. Time to restart the Wait.
What?
Why does it say our progress is at 0%? We have to play this level all over again? Why didn't
Yep.
it save from the last time?
Uh-oh.
What? Uh-oh.
Wait a
This
minute.
section, this whole DLC, it doesn't have the save points from the main game. If you lose your lives and
You're
there are no
done.
checkpoints, then that makes this, a
Pause.
marathon.
Marathon, yeah.
We have to beat this entire DLC in one sitting without stopping from start to end without losing all our lives?
Pretty
Did you
much.
not see this?
If only. You're the one that agreed to this DLC run.
Sonic!
How Do they expect us not to die? Their game is beyond forked.
You got me. Ah!
This is pure,
Ultra?
unfiltered madness. We're tossed to the wolves whenever we empty our life reserves.
The real problem, the major thing that sticks out, is just how terrible Tails controls here. It seems like every level was haphazardly arranged to just ever so barely function with the character.
Keywords barely function.
Sonic!
Like these in-air
Poor Tails.
features that hurl the yellow fuzzball in a specific location. Sometimes you need to hit multiple of them in a row, but they are not linked. They're not aiming the correct order to follow a path, and sometimes they just toss you out in the wild while you tumble to your death.
I guess they felt avoiding a catapult to the abyss wasn't difficult enough. So this DLC introduces a new laser grid that appears
you
at set timed intervals
serious?
as an added bit of the old ultra terrible.
So you better hope you're hoarding your rings, because if you don't time this right,
Bye-bye.
to the grave you
later.
go.
Hey, sorry.
Tails has to redo that wonderful train chase stage, but the game sometimes breaks down, severely limiting his max run speed, which is all the more terror-inducing when attempting to race a train before it explodes.
Move, Tails!
Go, Tails, go! Jeez.
Later on, when you play as the DLC's second character, Blaze, almost any time you run on a speed boost platform, the game rockets her off the playable stage floor into sheer and unwanted doom.
And there she goes.
The Maniacs did it. They found a way to make a Sonic the Hedgehog video game punish you for speed.
Sadly, these levels are loaded with poorly executed enemy battles and barely functional obstacles that hinder us at every waking moment.
Like this section here with the constantly bobbing logs. Each wooden platform is acting as a safe stepping stone surrounded by watery death.
In and of itself, a mere challenge of keeping Blaze above the waterline. The puzzle here, though, is trying to figure out how to reach that bumper, which should project you out to the next zone.
If you're like us, you'll fall a few times.
This looks like
I
nothing
think
at
so.
all, right? But that's the terrible trick. Random spots of the level design that seem innocent enough are secretly just busted. You'd only know if you played it.
It's by this point that we realize that lives and how many you can find are essential to completing this, especially when we don't have save points. Hey, look, there's
There's
a life
one.
over there on that
Oh,
log.
good.
I don't know, buddy. That looks a little too dangerous.
But we need it. We don't have a choice.
Okay, hold your breath. We're going in.
Huh?
Oh, come
This
on.
game.
Hates us.
Here, Blaze seems to be at her very, very worst.
What is this platform moving without the character? I
Yeah.
have to walk along with it or I'll fall off?
My brain computer is starting to shut down. I can't process all of this wrong.
Nothing's reliable in this game anymore. Nothing at all. Not even basic platforming functions like the character staying on the ground they're standing on.
There's these things, these
Jeez.
floating metallic balls that Blaze needs to combo attack in a row in order to traverse to the next part of
Right.
the stage.
But timing this just right is a nightmare. And all those lives we collected to get to this point are drained in what feels like an instant.
Hi, Tails.
Hello again.
Having to replay this DLC over and over again just to get back to where we left off is one of the most challenging things this game has ever thrown at us.
The fox sucks. The cat
Sucks.
sucks. But they're nothing, not a dang thing, compared to E123 Omega.
System error.
None of this sand is solid. You remember that, right, from before?
Yep, that.
So you need to platform hop with a machine that both controls and looks about as agile as a fridge taking a ballerina class. Falling through sand, restart back to the beginning with Tails.
This messy ordeal
bitch.
wraps up with a retread of a boss battle that doesn't
Genesis.
feel any more fun, this time playing it with Omega. And almost as unceremoniously as it started, you're tossed right back to the main menu without any narrative beats or cutscenes as a reward.
0%.
You
It
wanted
didn't
to
even
do
save
this.
our progress, or at the very least, record that we completed
We did
it.
the damn
Truly,
thing.
this downloadable content is so far gone, I almost don't want to call it functional.
Every possible
I don't
thing
think
you
even-
try to do in this DLC is a theme park of disappointment. It's somehow harder than the regular game and considerably more unfunctional. It's no wonder everybody passed this up and acted like it didn't exist.
You
And
think?
yet, we are still not finished this game.
Here we
The
go.
final episode starts
Last
with a
one.
glimpse at an old enemy, Mephiles.
And then we see Sonic and Elise happily happily trotting along. Sure, Mephiles looked a little foreboding a second ago, but look at Sonic's smile here. That's $1 million smile. I think everything's gonna be just
3,
fine.
2, 1. Dead.
Oh, Sonic's been stabbed through the heart.
But he's fine though, right?
Any second now, he'll scarf a chili dog, whip around, and say something snarky.
And no. He's gone.
He did.
Slapped with the incredible emotional weight of her dead blue cartoon friend, Elise does the one thing her father told her never to do.
Cry.
She yells?
I think she's supposed to be crying.
Good enough for the bad guy, I guess, because billowing fire rushes out of Princess Elise. Mephiles has done it. He's released the flames of disaster. Iblis.
With Iblis finally freed and all the Chaos Emeralds mysteriously collected, did we miss that? I don't remember that. Anyway, Mephiles begins merging himself with his fiery other. Fear begins to wash over Soliana and beyond.
Whoa, this is not looking good. All of Sonic's acquaintances meet in a purpley dimension.
And
Even
Eggman,
Dr.
too.
Eggman has fallen victim to this all-encompassing spatial shift.
Hey, Sonic's here too. Still looking
Still
very
dead,
dead.
yeah.
Mephiles played us all for fools.
You went along with this?
His plan all along was to cause the princess to be so consumed with despair that she'd cry.
Or scream. Or...
So that's why he wanted me to kill Sonic before.
Wait a sec, why was that Mephiles' plan? Sonic knowing Elise and then becoming friends was completely out of his control. We don't know why Sonic was in Soliana, but it wasn't because of Mephiles. So when he got released, did he just learn the princess had met this blue hedgehog and he thought, great, bet if I kill him, she'll cry.
Wait a minute, I'm marinating on something here. Remember when Princess Elise's father died after that explosion?
Oh yeah, when she was left in the woods with an evil stick and a powerful fire force inside her? Who could forget?
So when she, a very young child, woke up abandoned and alone and somehow made her way back to safety, she would have at some point discovered her father had passed on, right?
Right.
That
Yeah.
didn't make her cry? The father that raised her, the one she had known all her life? But some hedgehog she's only known for maybe a few days at best kicked the bucket, and that jump-started the waterworks?
There are so many plot holes, but what I really want to know is what released Iblis before Mephiles was let loose.
What?
In the game's future hellscape, which we've seen multiple times, it's Iblis alone that is terrorizing. So that means Elise cried for some other reason without Mephiles being around to merge with Iblis. Because that's his whole thing, right? They want to merge back into one entity, I think.
We're probably asking a bit too much from a plot hinging on sad person noises.
This is so...
Yeah. Like Silver saying, so unbelievable. Like, at some point, you'd think it's like those last 200 years, like they would have merged at some point, right? Like, why not just grab the emeralds and just merge? But nope, just gotta go back. Like, like you think someone would have realized that plot point, but nope, nothing. Anyway.
Oh, unbelievable.
Eggman deduces that in order to stop this incredible evil force, it'll need to be defeated in the past, present, and future. A concept that may have had some hope of working if Sonic was alive.
Which he is not. He is dead. Sonic is very dead.
I feel Sonic's presence in the wind. I don't think he's dead yet.
What?
I'm sure of it. It's not too late.
Of course. Let's call him back with the power of the Chaos Emeralds.
Oh,
That could
yeah,
work.
sure. Why the
Right,
heck
pull out
not?
MacGuffin,
The
of
Chaos
course.
Emeralds can help hedgehogs travel through time and resurrect dead bodies.
And those
Who
Chaos
even cares
Emeralds
anymore?
can pretty much just rewrite reality, can it?
I'll do it.
You'll
No wonder
do it?
gems can do anything.
Oh,
Solaris flung the Chaos Emeralds to the distant corners of this distorted world.
To collect them all in time, we'll have to split up.
right. Woohoo! Yeah.
So are we gonna get all new end of the world levels, or are we just...
Yeah, there
we're
we
just
go.
going back to all the same levels we've already played, aren't we?
Yep, there we go. Just brum.
Yay! We collected all the Chaos Emeralds!
With every jewel
Finally.
collected, the
All
gang
right.
begins an ominous hedgehog resurrection ritual.
Oh, Chaos Emeralds, gems of miracles, please heed my call. I wish to cleanse my father's sin, and I wish to talk to Sonic once again. Sonic, come back to me, to us.
Look away! Look away now!
And with that, the kiss between human and cartoon animal blinded humanity indefinitely.
I mean, look at it.
Sure, you want a climactic moment cementing a bond between your
Necrophilia,
characters,
zoophilia.
right? We get that.
Take it
But
back.
this,
How awful
no,
that is.
Just no.
Absolutely not!
The
Thank
connection
you.
built between these two isn't just
Barely
flimsy,
there.
it's embarrassing and contrived. Terrible writing, awkward line deliveries, eye-rolling moments telegraphing
You think we
a
could just get rid
special
of Elise
connection
forever?
that never
Sorry, had to
feels
go there.
earned.
Even if this whole thing was leaning more towards friendship than romance, which, come on, it's romance. The game's pretty freaking blunt.
You wouldn't happen to have some feelings for this person, would you?
Yes.
So what does this guy look like? Have you already been on a date with him?
No, I
Ugh.
really haven't.
A one-way love? That's so cute.
The execution
Look
of the
who's
affinity
talking.
between Sonic and Elise is so poor that almost every scene with these two feels painfully goofy.
No, the smooch does not work for us.
Or Sega.
We just kept this down in the
apparently.
remake,
Wow.
please.
But it does work for Sonic.
He's reborn as Super
Super
Sonic,
Sonic.
a golden souped-up version of the Speedster powered by the 7 Chaos Emeralds.
Sonic offers his incredible powers to Shadow and Silver.
Finally, we get to do battle with the sun god of Soliana, Solaris.
Go,
The
Solaris.
team's gotta watch out.
He eats dimensions for lunch.
We're told we've got to destroy Solaris while maintaining the super form of our 3 hedgehogs.
Eventually, we figure out which hedgehog's abilities need to be used when.
It's an irritating encounter, mostly because of the padded busy work.
I think they're trying to aim for a rewarding kind of gameplay to cap off the whole game, you know?
It doesn't feel rewarding in the slightest.
Rotate and attack
When
enough
has it
times,
ever?
and boom, we get Solaris' second form. Thankfully, this part's much easier. Avoid laser blasts and attack Solaris' core. So long, Solaris!
With the evil
yeah.
mega
Wait,
deity
isn't there one more
defeated,
form?
Sonic and the Golden Boys return to their friends. Except for Eggman, he's just here, being a jerk.
Eh.
Elise and Sonic get
Okay, never mind,
transported
just
to a
two.
dark
Okay.
void where they
I
time
just thought there
travel
was
to the
3.
past through the true Solaris?
We see the king talking to young Elise about Solaris, the Flame of Hope. Apparently, the kingdom wanted to use the flame to power a time machine.
Solaris will allow us to control time and move through history.
Poor misguided king. All you
Oops.
had to do was ask any of the humanoid hedgehogs running around. Apparently, they all had time travel abilities this entire time.
Chaos control!
Elise and Sonic approach the flame.
If we put out this flame, Solaris will never exist. And then we'll never have to worry about the flames of disaster, right?
Wait,
That-
don't
how it
they
works?
worship that flame or something? Solaris is the sun god of Soliana. Wouldn't that have huge rippling consequences for their society and their world?
Well, it's too bad I don't care about their society
Fair.
or their world. Flame on! Flame off! This lady's still gonna be dressing like a bird.
But our encounter,
Never.
you and I will never meet. It will never have happened.
Yeah.
Jane, no. That's not
Aw.
how it works. You can't blow out a flame on the TV screen.
You heard her. I
Can
got
we
this.
please?
No need. The princess
Aw.
finishes the deed.
Thank you.
Cool.
Phew.
We're tossed back to the opening cinematic. That's right, the beginning of this whole dang escapade. Only this time, the ceremony goes uninterrupted by Eggman, who is nowhere to be seen. And that is the
I
only
guess,
change
no
in
rumor.
this new timeline, despite the extinguishing of the deity decades, maybe centuries earlier.
Sonic still makes
I think with that, it was more just like get rid of the actual danger and they just worship them as a god. You know? Take them in the reality of it all, I guess. But hey, at least we don't have to worry about them rampaging, so that's good.
an appearance, though, and flashes a smile that reads, "The game can't hurt me anymore. It
It's
canonically
all
meant
done.
nothing."
Don't you just love stories like that? Erasing all purpose or drive or sense of accomplishment.
It's about as irritating and despised as a movie
True.
ending with the main character
true.
waking up to discover everything in the film was a dream.
Wow. What an epic mistake of a game.
This feels like the Sonic series' biggest rock-bottom release. Does anything else get close?
Nowhere near this bad from my experiences, though the
Knuckles
series
chaos?
has seen subsequent video games not considered all-time greats. I think it's safe to say this one is dead last. There is a reason so many people have boldly attempted to play and cover it, because at its very center, it is a marvelous, bug-addled, glitch-fest extravaganza.
And no matter how many times you play it, no defending it.
Anytime someone plays it, they discover new problems. The game is an endless hole of garbage. There is no bottom. The only comfort I get from this game is knowing that there has been endless joy and entertainment generated from everyone exploring Sonic 2006 through the years. Luckily, the Sonic franchise is definitely on an upswing today.
Titles like Sonic Generations, Sonic Mania have proven that these characters can still work pretty well both as 2D and 3D experiences. Even narratively, Sonic got into films, and they seem to land that one with pure plot alone with no gameplay. Modern Sonic is good Sonic.
Speaking of modern, the fans themselves tried to update Sonic 2006 when Sega never ever did.
And when we say update, we probably should be saying fix.
Save it.
Going by the title Sonic Project 06,
there it is.
P06 for short, the fan community attempted the impossible by building the game up using a newer engine with modern tools and features.
What you get is a far more stable game, far less glitches, far better controls. All around, it feels like a real Sonic game in a way that its original release never did.
If we were to suggest anyone at all even attempt to play Sonic 2006, this is the only
way to do it.
We'd recommend. Because indulging yourself in the smoldering ember realm of the 360 or PS3 monstrosity is not worth the attempt.
But make no mistake, Project 06 is not a cure for the ill-fated game. All the mistakes that plagued the original, its awful designs, are still all within this game.
It just plays better.
The core of what's wrong with Sonic 2006 isn't in glitches alone. It goes deeper than that. Good things are rarely discovered while playing it in any format you dare. There is not much to redeem here.
You might like the music, maybe some of the pretty pre-rendered cutscenes, but that is just two positive droplets in a game boiling over with problems. But we know all about that now, don't we? We all took the journey together. Let's encapsulate this voyage one last time. Sonic 2006 is not a good game.
It's got a bewildering story,
Intense glitchy gameplay,
excessive load times,
terrible character abilities,
deranged NPCs,
clashing character designs,
ill-conceived worlds,
and character stories, don't forget that.
Broken physics,
a gag-inducing romance,
painful dialogue,
awful side quests,
and plenty of other unsavory nuggets.
But we did it. We finished Sonic 2006 and witnessed firsthand just how unbelievable this title is.
No! You're all still here! Didn't I warn you?
Are you the ghost of the money we wasted on Sonic the Hedgehog 2006?
Get it, you dummies! You couldn't leave well enough alone! You've no idea the evil you've wrought upon us!
Why do you hate
What
our
do you
videos
mean?
so
What's going
much?
on over here?
Telling the good people why these games are not fun
Did
to
I miss
play.
something?
But you're still talking about them! People need to forget games like Sonic 2006 even exist!
I think you're being a little dramatic.
Yeah.
Am I? Am I? Then explain to me how even with all of its bad reviews at launch, Sonic still sold enough to be one of the 360's earliest best-selling titles. It's an Xbox Platinum hit game, for crying out loud.
Oh.
Wow.
That's a point.
You're both morons.
Screw you.
Shane, we're gonna keep making these videos, right?
Oh yeah, Adam, for sure.
And as for Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, well, there's no way we
Here we
can
go.
ever deny that
It's just bad. Yeah, it's just no way around it. Oh, cool.
I like the Genesis one.
You ain't wrong there. Usually the best. And there we go. Finally wrapped it up. So, honestly, yeah, this whole thing is just mania-inducing. Like, I don't wish on this on any other franchise. Let's just hope we don't ever run into a game that's bad as this. Though, in our future, probably will. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See ya. And again, sorry for the stream mishap.